Oh my god, I can't believe it, they announced Metro Prime 4! Want to join my free gift card giveaway? Then subscribe to this channel, like this video, and turn notifications on. And finally, tell me in the comments below why you should go fuck yourself! Yo, it's your boy Vale here, back with the 100 millionth fucking E3 reaction video. Okay, I have no idea how to start this video because, for a change, I'm actually going to do this video completely unscripted. All I have with me is just this little book of notes, and I don't know, we're gonna see how it goes from there. I haven't really done anything unscripted before, like, the closest thing was the last E3 fucking video. See, this is why I don't do unscripted content, I can't talk for shit. So I thought this video would be a good time to practice it. No one's gonna watch this video anyway, so who gives a shit? And because this is unscripted, some of you are probably going to lose interest, so live action hands will be making an appearance in this video, and he will be spinning a fidget spinner for the entirety of this video. Hopefully that will keep you guys entertained, but if not, then I am a terrible entertainer, and why am I even bothering with YouTube? Anyway, let's get into E3. This time I watched most of them, unlike last year where I just watched the main three, but I skipped Ubisoft and Bethesda because I couldn't have given two massive fucks about them. But I tried to watch as much as possible for the sake of this video. It's a little hard when they keep airing them at like 5 AM in the morning.
Xbox! I'm goddamn upstanding with this right now. Xbox!
Anyway, like last year, we'll start with Xbox, and I think Xbox did a really good job this year. It's good to see they've moved on from way back in 2013 and 2014 where they were trying to make Xbox this massive media center. Like the games were sort of taking a back seat to all this media center stuff. Oh, you can watch YouTube and Netflix and all that crap. I'm glad we still have that stuff on the Xbox because I do use my Xbox as a media hub, which is a little sad, but it's good to see that they're returning to worrying about games, and mostly games, and that's good, and I don't see why that was so fucking difficult in the first place. Obviously, the biggest reveal was the reveal of their new console, which is more or less just an Xbox One with a bigger fucking GPU or something. 4K, 60 frames per second, they were very adamant about that. The whole conference. You can play this game in 4K, 60 FPS, true 4K. We know it's in 4K, 60 FPS. We got the point. You spent like the first 10 minutes discussing it. Just move on, please. Anyway, to most people's surprise, the new console is called the Xbox One. The Xbox One X. Now, I don't think Microsoft has learned anything from Nintendo's little Wii U debacle. Nobody bought the Wii U. Most people probably thought the Wii U was just like a Wii upgrade or something. The Wii U just sold shit. I'm starting to think maybe the Xbox One X. Jesus Christ, it's gonna get confused. There's already an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, and an Xbox One X. So if a kid says to his mum, "Oh, I want a fucking Xbox One X for my birthday," the mum scolds him because he swore, so he's probably not getting the Xbox One X. But then the mother decides, you know, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh, I'll get him the Xbox One S. Turns out she completely misheard him, and ends up getting the kid the lesser of the two Xboxes. So that's yeah, Microsoft, you kind of screwed the pooch on that one. But I will give it to them. It is a pretty powerful looking console. They revealed Forza 7 next, which was later revealed to only run on like 70% of the GPU or something. Apparently it has GPU to spare, so that's kind of neat, I guess. Forza 7 does look cool, and I'm probably the only YouTuber who's going to say this, who's doing these E3 videos. Like, you watch Ant Dude and Pro Jared, and they've gone, I'm not a Forza 7 fan, I don't get it, it just looks the same. No disrespect to those guys, they're cool, but fuck, it looks good. Holy shit! I saw the lightning storm on, I think it was Nürburgring? I don't know. Either way, I was just like, fuck me, dude. Like I said, I'm probably the only YouTuber who's going to get psyched up about Forza, so yeah, you know. They revealed the new Porsche on stage, the 911 fucking whatever. Put the name on the put the name on the screen. It would have been better if it didn't look like literally every other Porsche on the market. Like, can you tell the difference between this and this? Honestly. We got a Metro Exodus reveal, which I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that. It did look a little set piecey, cinematic, sort of the same problem I had with Final Fantasy 15 last year, but again, that still remains to be seen. Assassin's Creed Origins, I think it was called. Egypt Origins, one or the other. That actually looked really good. I don't know why. I've never, well, I have played, I think it was Assassin's Creed 2 or Revelations, and I just did not enjoy it. I understand why people like them, but I just do not enjoy them at all. I just always hated how I had to hold a button to move faster, and like, you just move the left stick and you're just walking, and that's just fucking annoying to me. And I get why, but I don't have time to be holding a button to move faster, so it's cool that we've just got the left stick, and your movement is based on how far you're pushing the stick, and I like that. I have a note written down for the Darwin Project. I don't even remember what that is. Oh wait, was that cringy dude who was up on stage? That fucking fat balding dude? I wanted to talk, but he was up on stage and he was yelling really loudly, and I'm sure everyone at E3 was very frightened. Crossplay Minecraft. Yeah, of course Minecraft got another reveal this year. No one cares about Minecraft. Well, I'm sure a lot of people care about Minecraft, but Minecraft in an E3 presentation, briefing, whatever, no one cares. Microsoft are trying to show off their new console in 4K and 60 FPS, and the best they can do is fucking Minecraft. Jesus Christ. It is cool, however, that, Xbox users, PC users, and Switch users will all be able to play together, which I think is really cool. Sony's being left out. I think Sony are just being a bunch of arrogant pricks, as they have been for the past couple of weeks. What with the, there was like an article about how they don't really care about backwards compatibility. They were like, oh, I'm sure those games are good in their time, but who wants to play those games? They look old. Look at Gran Turismo 3 and 4 next to Sport, or 6. They look dated. Who wants to play that? Fuck off, Sony. That's completely missing the point of backwards compatibility. Oh, we had that lady from last year's conference. Remember that lady who was like, you know, fucking 9,000 gamer score, that Xbox achievement on Windows, on a iMac, whatever. Remember her? She was back, and she had a bush on her head. Good for her. I'm glad she's stepping up in the world. We got footage of a Dragon Ball Z fighter. Dragon Ball Fighters. Fuck, it looks good. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. It actually almost looks like the anime, which is kind of what I've been wanting from an anime. Well, actually, I guess the Naruto games have been doing that for a while, but I don't really care about Naruto. Honestly, I don't really care about Dragon Ball Z either. I mostly just watch the abridged series, but that's why I care. And this game just looks insanely good compared to, like, some Marvel vs. Infinite. Comparing it to that. I don't know, there's been a bit of a meme floating around about that lately, but just comparing Dragon Ball FighterZ to Marvel vs. Infinite, just, oh my god, completely knocked it out of the park. The one thing I noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, was, Microsoft doesn't really know what the word exclusive means. Like, every trailer that showed up, they had that dude that said, you know, fucking exclusive.
Exclusive. Exclusive. Exclusive. World premiere. Exclusive. Exclusive.
But then on screen it was like, console launch exclusive, so it doesn't really work, Microsoft, I'm sorry. If it's coming to PC, it's not really that exclusive. I get what they mean, but it doesn't work like that. We had Sea of Thieves next. That looked really cool. I'm not really into multiplayer games, so this probably isn't going to be the game for me. But I've got a couple friends who are really hyped up for it, so that's pretty neat. From what I've heard, the gameplay itself is a little bit stiff, which I kind of expected. It just kind of looks... It kind of looks like that game that would be stiff, but the concept is just really cool, so hopefully it comes out, it's just kind of stiff at launch, and then they sort of fix it up, who knows. Maybe they'll fix it up before launch. I don't know. That trailer was overly long though. I think they should have showed a much more condensed version on the show itself, and then given us like the 5-10 minutes, however long that trailer took later on. But I don't know, it looks pretty good. So I guess a lot of people are hyped up for that. That's one of Xbox's big things at the moment, so I guess it makes sense. Tacoma. I just have a word Tacoma written down. I have no idea what that is. What is Tacoma? Isn't that a Toyota? We got Conker's Bad Fur Day next. No, we didn't. We got Super Lucky's Tale. Haha, got your hopes up. People got kind of excited for this one, but just a friendly reminder, this game was originally a VR title, and it wasn't that great. Like, it was pretty decent, but it was kind of short and shallow and kind of all that. Maybe they've fixed it up. That's probably what the super in the title is for. Maybe they've fixed it up. Maybe they've added more stuff. Maybe it just feels better to play overall. But I wouldn't really get my hopes up for this one just yet. It could be good, who knows. I'm glad Microsoft didn't have the balls to cancel Cuphead. That's still coming along. That releases September 29. Really close, actually. We had a little games montage next. I don't really write down any notes for that. The one thing I do remember, though, is that there was a Fable card game in there. I love how one of Microsoft's biggest exclusives has been downgraded from this massive, sprawling, decision-fueled RPG to this little card game that was just in a little video reel at the end of a conference. I thought that was fucking hilarious, to be honest. I do not like Fable 3 at all, but it's really sad to see Fable, this massive game, just go from being this massive, beloved RPG to just this stupid little card game, and I think that's kind of sad, but, you know, what else can you do? Some of those games look really good, I do remember, but I just don't remember any of them off the top of my head. Fucking god, I still have another page of Xbox shit left. Life is Strange 2 was next, which I remember the first game. The first game was really good. That game gets a lot of bad rep. The ending was pretty... The ending was very, you know, binary, either. the decisions just made no impact on the ending. So that was kind of sad, but I think the journey towards that, I do like the ending, but I think the journey towards that ending was much better. So I think Life is Strange 2, what's it called, Beyond the Storm? Or Before the Storm? Before the Storm, yeah, because I think it's a prequel or something. It could be a lot better, who knows? Apparently it's gotten rid of the time rewinding mechanic, which that was sort of a defining feature of the first, so that could be kind of, who knows? I don't know exactly how that's going to go. We had some Middle-earth Shadow of War footage up next. I know fuck all about this game, but I have a roommate who will not shut the fuck up about it. If you were watching this, boy, fuck you. No, I'm sorry, I get it, I get hyped up for games too. But yeah, I have a roommate who's really hyped up for this. He seems to really like that Bruise character. And then, now, I didn't think the next game was going to get a sequel. I thought it was fine the way it was, the way it ended. I thought it was just a good standalone game on its own, but I didn't know we needed an Ori and the Blind Forest sequel until I saw Ori 2, which, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I think that says. I mean, holy fucking shit, we didn't even get any gameplay, and yet somehow I'm still massively hyped for this. The first game's really good. Go out and buy that if you haven't tried it. It's a great little Metroidvania sort of game. Super cute characters, fairly emotional depending on your outlook, and just some really neat mechanics. You'll probably find it for cheap on Steam, the Windows Store, Xbox, whatever else. I think it's well worth a look, so give that a look sometime. Make sure Ori 2 does well because it really needs it. These games are fucking great. One of the biggest reveals of the briefing was that original Xbox games are coming back to backwards compatibility, which is another area Microsoft has Sony completely beaten in. Like, compare their backwards compatibility to Sony's. Sony has, on their PS4 at the moment, a couple of PS2 games, and a bunch of, like, relatively full-priced remasters for games like The Last of Us or Wipeout. Wipeout's good, buy that, but still, it's just either straight-up remasters or a couple PS2 games that no one remembers, like Rogue Galaxy. I like Rogue Galaxy's pretty good, but, you know, where are all the really good PlayStation games? Like fucking Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter. No, never mind. Jak and Daxter's getting a full-on fucking remaster again. Anyway, the first game coming out the first confirmed game, rather, is Crimson Skies. I'd never heard of it until then, so whatever. 30 games were also confirmed to have a 4K update for the Xbox One X. I still hate that name. What I found hilarious was one of the games was Homefront The Revolution. Does everybody remember how good Homefront The Revolution was? I find that fucking hilarious that that game's still getting supported. It had DLC for fuck's sake. Towards the end of the conference, we got a price confirmation for the Xbox One X. $499 US, which is probably, I don't know, 650? For Australia, around there. Most people have been kind of up in arms about that. They've been going, that's just way too fucking expensive, no one will buy it. The thing is, remember when the PS3 launched and that was $700? And also, this wasn't really made for the general consumer. This was made for people who really want to take advantage of their Xbox gaming experience and don't have a PC. And before you tell me, there's no point buying an Xbox One X, just buy a fucking PC. Not everyone wants to game on a PC. I fully understand why people do not want to game on a PC. I prefer to game on console myself. I always have, and I always will. Like, people who play PC, they'll try and tell you it's more, I'm kind of getting into weird little territory here. They'll tell you it's less expensive in the long run, but the thing is, you buy a console, it's $200, $300, $400, maybe no more than that, and games are relatively cheap now if you wait for sales and whatnot, which, you know, PC players are always saying, oh, you can get games super cheap on sales. Yeah, consoles do that too. And about buying parts for PC, I was told all I needed was like a new CPU and something else, I don't remember. They were like, oh yeah, you know, it'll only cost you a couple $100. $750 fucking dollars! So, you know, PC gaming isn't cheap. Shut up. If you play PC, that's fine. I'm just sort of getting into a weird little territory here. I don't have the money to blow on a PC, and it just irks me when people say, oh, just build a PC. Just shut the fuck up. Just for 2 minutes. Just go play your games. Just go play them. Just shut up. I don't know if this is going in or not. If it does... Anyway, that was me rambling. I've rambled for way too long already. We had an Anthem reveal. The face animation's better than Mass Effect Andromeda, that's for sure, and I sure am looking forward to playing Superman 64. Otherwise, hey, Xbox's conference was pretty good.
When you turn it on, it scares the shit out of you.
So Sony's conference, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the reaction of everybody. It was just, whatever that noise is, that was it. Anyway, Sony, listen, the first game you showed off, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, a game that has not only been confirmed for some time, but is it either a standalone DLC or just a straight up DLC? That's not how you start a conference. And I'm sure, like, Uncharted is a fucking good game, no doubt, but you don't start a conference with already confirmed DLC. That's just the worst way you can start a conference. Everyone already knows, no one cares. You start it with either news for a really big new game. Next up, we got more fucking DLC. Horizon. Yeah, okay, Horizon's apparently a good game too, but fucking hell, Sony, come on, I watch these briefings so I can get a taste of new games, not fucking old games we already know about. DLC, great. Save it for later on in the conference. When you start off the briefing, you gotta wow us. Straight up. And that's what Xbox did for the most part. I think it kind of actually started off a bit rocky, but, you know, wow us for fuck's sake. The next game did wow me, so that's good. Good. Sony, it only took you like 10 minutes. Days Gone. I talked about Days Gone last year. The main character is a zombie, apparently. I'm of two minds about this. This game could be completely generic, or it could be the next best thing since fucking sliced bread. The way that the dude snuck into that camp, he placed, I think was a bear trap, threw something over to lure them over there, and then the dude got caught in the bear trap, which lured a whole fucking herd of zombies over. I thought that was really cool. And if the game is filled with other a whole bunch of other dynamic opportunities and moments like that, I think the game is going to work out really well. The next game was one of very few actual new games this year, Monster Hunter World. Again, kind of two minds about. I know a few people who are really excited for this. It kind of looks like they're westernizing it a little too much, I think. I can't really say, I don't really play Monster Hunter that much, but it does look more cinematic. It might lose a bit of what makes Monster Hunter great. I really cannot tell. I'd be more than happy for people to come into the comments and tell me otherwise, but at the moment, it looks really good, there's no doubt. It just kind of looks weirdly westernized, and that could be bad, who knows. From what I understand, the main team are working on it, so that's a bit of positive news, I guess. Speaking of old games no one wants to play anymore, Shadow of the Colossus is getting a remaster. It's finally getting the visuals it deserves, which is good, but fuck me, Sony, pick one stance or the other. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity, I don't remember the fucking name of it, is getting a story mode, which is really cool, because that was one of my main problems with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It had nothing. It had an arcade mode and like just normal versus mode and some online modes, and that was about it. It had nothing to keep me coming back. So I'm glad that it's at least getting some sort of story mode. That's really good. It seems to be, oh, excuse me, that was a weird burp. It seems to be taking some cues from like Mortal Kombat 10 and whatever the fuck that new game is, Injustice 2, taking some cues from that, including a story mode, but we're yet to see how that could go. Judging by the character models, it could be garbage, who knows. Considering Dante looks like fucking Tony Hawk. They had Skyrim VR, and oh my god, how many times can you announce Skyrim? How many times can you announce Skyrim? Cool, it's coming to VR. That was one of the few games that people wanted in VR, but holy fucking shit are they milking this game. Just make a new one, for God's sakes. We're getting fucking Final Fantasy 15 VR fishing. I'm so glad they're putting their time into VR fishing instead of finishing the fucking game. And then we got to God of War. Now, I don't know if you guys follow Super Butterbuns at all. On her Twitter account, she shared a good video as to why some people might not be excited for this new God of War, and I think it perfectly encapsulates my feelings towards it.
Be calm and plan. I will have my revenge!
Could be absolutely amazing, it could be a PS4 killer app, who knows, but this is not a God of War game. This is not a God of War game in the slightest. It looks like just any standard brawler. It looks closer to fucking Splatterhouse than it does God of War. I mean, there's no doubt it looks amazing, but it just seems to have lost so much of the God of War flair. Kratos was this fucking super angry guy that just stabbed everybody, ripped people's faces off. Here he is interacting with people, looking after a child. I couldn't give two fucking shits about his emotions. I just want to see him rip off a guy's skull. I don't know. I just can't help but feel disappointed about the direction they're taking God of War right now. But again, it could be amazing, who knows? As of right now, I'm not really hyped for this game at all. As a massive fan of God of War 2, it just does not look appealing to me at all. We had Detroit, Become Human, I think it's called, up next. David Cage is a fucking idiot, there's no doubt. The main character has that two-colored eye thing, heterochondria or whatever the hell it's called. And finally, and it really pains me to say finally because this has been pretty mess so far, we got footage of the new Spider-Man game, which is being made by Insomniac, which, you know, half of this channel is based around Insomniac content, as you all know. So this looks really good. We need to see more gameplay first, I think. There were a lot of QTEs, a lot of QTEs, and a lot of scripted gameplay, and I don't think that's a great, or the best showcase of what this game could be. But apart from that, it just looks really good. It looks like they've really nailed the source material. It's kinda hard for me to judge this. I didn't really play Spider-Man games as a kid, so I can't really say whether or not this is going to be the next good Spider-Man game or not. But from what I saw, it looks really good. Of course, however, Yuri Lowenthal is fucking playing Spider-Man because of course he is. He plays every fucking character these days. Overall, I think Sony didn't have the worst conference ever, but it wasn't exactly the best one. It was a lot of footage about games we've already seen and very few new games. Like, what were the new games? Like a Monster Hunter World and a remaster of Shadow of the Colossus, so I don't even know if that counts, to be honest. Oh, the VR games, I guess, as well. But overall, it was just a big gameplay dump to me. It was just trailer or gameplay after trailer, and it just... nah.
The premise of the game is you take one finger, put it in your mouth, the other one goes up your asshole. When he says go, you switch.
And finally, well, not finally, there are other ones, but the final big one was Nintendo. As per usual, they didn't do an actual E3 briefing, they just had a little spotlight direct video that they streamed on IGN, all that crap. But, and it was only 25 minutes, which seemed disappointing at first. A lot of people were saying it's only going to be 25 minutes, they're not going to reveal shit all. And yet, even though it might not be my personal opinion, but I think for a lot of people, Nintendo were winning right now. There's pretty much no doubt about that. After Reggie came on, he kind of made me cringe a little because he came on and he just said, "The games are fun," or something like that. It's like, no fucking shit.
The game is fun.
We started off with a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 trailer. Does the lead character's voice seem weird to you? Is it just because he's talking with a weird Irish accent? Like, does that seem like the kind of accent you want for a main character? Is that even an Irish accent? Let me know in the comments below. I don't even know. Stop, please. There's a new Kirby game, which was pretty surprising. It is just called Kirby, and that pisses me off to no end. The art style for that looks really good. It's bright and colorful, and it looks like it's taking full advantage of the Switch's capabilities. We didn't actually get any new Pokemon news. They were talking about Pokken for a minute, not even a minute, a few seconds. Pokken Tournament DX, I think, is a really cool idea for the Switch, though. It was, I reviewed that quite a while ago now, actually. I think it was over a year, who knows. That came out, that was a really good base game, but it just did not get the love it deserved on the Wii U. There was a whole bunch of DLC that was released on the arcade version, and none of that came to the Wii U version. The Wii U version was just kind of left on the wayside. So, Pokken Tournament DX, I think, coming to the Switch is really cool. It's getting all the DLC, bunch of new modes, but I still think it needs that something a little bit extra to really make it a justifiable purchase, at least for me. For most people, it should be enough. They haven't played it before, so that's fine. I do recommend you get it if you haven't got it on the Switch, so or the Wii U. So that's pretty good. But yeah, there was no new information about that, actually. They just sort of reconfirmed it again. But they did confirm, and this is probably the most exciting news from Nintendo's E3 thing for me. We are getting a core Pokemon game for the Switch. Now, they didn't show off any footage. I don't think they're quite ready to show off anything yet. But they did say we probably won't see anything about it until next year, which I'm totally fine with. I want them to take as long as they possibly can on this one. We probably won't see any news about it until next year, and I'm thinking it might not come out till 2019, but the longer the better, honestly. We've been waiting for a Pokemon console game for years, and this is finally the opportunity to get one. The Pokemon companies still get their portable Pokemon game, which they always maintain should be what Pokemon is released on, while everyone gets their console Pokemon game, and I think that's really cool. And then, of course, came the big reveal. You know what's a really good way to win E3? Put up a fucking JPEG. Metroid Prime 4 got announced, and all it was just, excuse me, a space background and the logo, and it says currently in development for the Switch or something like that. everybody went fucking nuts. That's all we got. We got no gameplay, no other news than that, apart from the fact that it's coming to the Switch. But apparently that's all people needed, because now everybody thinks the Nintendo won E3. I'm happy for them, but I don't necessarily think that's the case, but whatever, let people have their fun. Fire Emblem Warriors got a, I don't think it got any footage, I think it was just a cinematic trailer, which made me cringe beyond belief, because it was a whole bunch of, you gotta believe in yourselves, friendship all the way. Fuck off. We got some more, very little information about Breath of the Wild's DLC. We pretty much just got some footage of the first pack that's coming out, which we've already gotten, so I don't even know why they were showing that off. And then we got a teaser for the second DLC pack. The thing that turned me off was that there seems to be a focus on the 4, what do you call them? Guardians? Champions? I don't know. Mipha. Fuck Mipha. I saw Mipha, I thought, fuck, I don't want this. Rocket League's coming to the Switch. I think that's a really good fit. Rocket League, well, I guess you can't really have it portable because it's Wi-Fi, not 3G, 4G, 5G, whatever it is. But Rocket League on the Switch seems like a really good fit. Just being able to lie in bed and fucking shoot some hoops or whatever the hell you do in Rocket League, and kick some goals. Of course, it's coming with exclusive Mario and Luigi hats. That seems to be the thing. If there's a crossover with Nintendo and another thing, you'll get some hats. It's always the hats. Team Fortress 2, hats. Always hats, every time. And then at the end of the presentation, we got some, we got a brand new Super Mario Odyssey trailer. This game's looking really good. I do have one issue though, and it was after the presentation ended, and we jumped into the Treehouse livestream where they showed off the game. But is it me, or does that game look empty? This could be a completely unreasonable fear. They might have removed stuff from the game like they did with Breath of the Wild. Actually, was that even confirmed? I don't know, that was still kind of empty. But they could have removed stuff from the game so as not to spoil it. I don't know. Just when Mario was running around in the woodland forest, whatever area, it just looked empty as fuck. And honestly, I was just getting ukulele flashbacks. I'm gonna get to ukulele eventually. I've actually got a review planned for that. It just looked kind of empty, and I don't know if that's gonna be a legit, I don't know if that's gonna be cause for concern. Other than that, it looks incredible. The concept where you can throw your hat at things and then possess said thing is really cool. You can possess a taxi, a pole, a fucking T-Rex, for whatever reason. An extremely realistic looking T-Rex. This also begs the question, couldn't Mario just throw his hat at Bowser and then Peach will get everything she's ever wanted? Point is, I don't know, it looks really cool. It just looks kind of empty at the moment, and I don't know if they've done that on purpose, but we don't have very long to wait. They've actually pushed up the release date to the 27th of October, I think it was. So October's going to be really cool with Forza and Super Mario Odyssey. I think that's going to be a really good month for gaming.
Nothing like an 8-bit title to get you excited. Now,
unfortunately, I didn't get around to watching Ubisoft and Bethesda. I do have some quick thoughts on them. The Crew 2 got some footage. We're getting boats and planes, which is completely weird. And it seems like it's ditching the underground street racing, undercover cop sort of thing from the first game, which I think is a good idea, because I remember the acting from The Crew was kind of, well, rather the whole story was kind of even though they got Troy Baker, even though Troy Baker, of all people, Troy Baker was the main character in that game. The one thing I want them to fix, and looking at the Crew 2 footage, I can already see I don't think they have, fix the fucking car handling. Holy shit, the car handling in the first game was just... It was like trying to control, it was like you're riding on a ferret on a fucking ice rink. Apart from that, yeah, Ubisoft's conference was pretty good. A lot of people were actually saying Ubisoft had won E3 before Nintendo showed off their games. That Mario game, Mario plus Rabbids. What the fuck is that?
Listen to me, Rabbit Luigi.
When that got leaked, people were like, no, this isn't a thing that should be happening. Now that it's out, a lot of people are saying, this could be good. It's essentially Mario and Rabbids, which is totally fucking weird, and I still don't fully understand it, but it looks like XCOM. The game itself looks like XCOM, which is kind of weird, and yet I feel like I should be angry at all of this, and yet I'm not. It seems less like an actual cash grab and more like a sort of like a passion project between two long-time developers, and it could be good. It could honestly be complete shit, who knows, but I'm kind of hopeful for this one. It actually comes out in around about 2 months, so that's kind of neat. Other than that, we also got confirmation Just Dance 2018 is coming to the Wii, and that is the biggest piece of news that has come out of E3 so far. Oh, and I guess Beyond Good and Evil too. Who fucking cares about Beyond Good and Evil?
It's only a game.
Why you have to be mad?
The one I did watch, and this was only because I was doing a thing for our Let's Play, the Unsucky Sunday weekly competition thing. I watched the EA Play one, mostly because I was excited to see new Need for Speed footage. This game honestly just looks like The Crew, what with the, you know, like the Las Vegas setting, the off-roading, the constant mention of the word crew, which is kind of hard to miss. A lot of people are saying this looks like Burnout, and I really don't see it. That looks nothing like Burnout. What, just because you can spin out some fucking cars? Ooh. I mean, games have been doing that for years. I can do that in fucking Dirt Showdown. I can do that in previous Need for Speed games, for fuck's sake. It's not a new thing. If anything, previous Need for Speed games were the next Burnout. Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. This game could be good, but it kind of just looks like Fast and Furious, the game. The thing with EA Play I found was that I wasn't paying attention a lot of the time, mostly because it was sports games. And I can't speak for everybody, obviously. I have no idea what people are watching E3 for, but I like to think that the average E3 viewer is not really coming to watch these conferences to find out about the next sports game. They want to find out about new IPs and sequels and stuff. Sports game, honestly, this sounds kind of hypocritical now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm hyped for the next Forza, and that's more or less just FIFA, but on wheels. Forza kind of makes sense because it's like one of Microsoft's biggest IPs. Whereas FIFA's just football. Ooh, it's got a story mode now. Ooh, fucking hell. Games have had story modes since, like, literally the beginning of time. Though there was that YouTuber who came on stage and, oh my god, that he... God bless his soul, he tried. God bless his soul, but he just could not. And he will never be hired for anything like that again.
My name is Jesse Wellens, and I am a YouTube creator. So, I am here to...
Why are we still here?
We got new footage of a game made by the person who was responsible for Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. It's called A Way Out, and essentially it is a, you have to play this game in co-op. It's designed around a local co-op experience where you and another character are working together to escape from prison and do a whole bunch of shit outside prison. It's a big story-driven experience. It's similar to Brothers in a way, except in some instances, one player might be actually doing a section of the game, whereas the other person might be in a cutscene. I think this could be a really cool idea. At the moment, it looks kind of stiff and unpolished, but I think with the right amount of love, this could be really cool, and I think it's cool for EA to be backing this. It shows that they do at least still somewhat care about games. A whole bunch of talk next about their Seed division or something. It was like Search for Extraordinary Experiences division, which I find funny because that implies that they haven't been able to find any extraordinary experiences prior. And then we saw some Star Wars footage. Star Wars Battlefront 2, rather. The Admiral thing is that the Admiral Akbar, the admirable thing. Fuck me, that's cringe. The admirable thing is that all DLC, much like Splatoon, is going to be free. They're not going to release any paid DLC. The user base will not be split up by paid DLC, and I think that's really cool. There's obviously going to be microtransactions and loot boxes and all that, and that can go fuck itself, but free DLC is always good in my book. I genuinely appreciate that. So that was pretty much E3 this year. It kind of just felt like E3 was on autopilot this year. It just seemed like it was just game after game after game. No real rhyme or reason as to these games being shown in the way they were. It was just, we're on stage now, here's a bunch of trailers, and that was specifically Sony's outlook towards the whole thing. It was just game after game, and they just did not care, and they were on stage maybe twice. And it was kind of like that with the rest of E3 as well. It was just kind of on autopilot, you know. Well, we've got a bunch of games, hey, check this out. In that sense, it was really cool. I do like that. I just want to see new games for the most part, but it did just kind of feel a little soulless, and Jesus fucking Christ, look at me. I'm sitting here critiquing E3 for not having any soul. What did I expect? As for who won E3, I think Xbox had a good overall briefing. Lots of games, not too much time on stage, perfectly balanced. Bit of a rocky start, but lots of games that I was personally interested in. Sony, not their best year, not that many new games. Nintendo, not that many games at all, flat out, but some particularly good ones. And the rest are kind of just not eligible, to be honest. I mean, that didn't really interest me that much. But having said that, who do I think won E3? There's no competition, is there? It was Devolver Digital. Of course it was fucking Devolver Digital. It just straight up the best conference.
This is our first year of bringing you to the very edge of your seats with the very best of what very games have to offer. And I am very, very proud to have you here on this very journey with me. I've got a lot to tell you about, much of which will blow your mind up, some of which will frighten your extended family a little. What we have shown you here today is only the beginning. Tomorrow's unethical business practices today, the future of video games, and the future's future.
Okay, being unironic, I think it was Xbox, to be honest, and I know I said that last year, and honestly the conference wasn't actually that great, considering they cancelled fucking Scalebound, the bunch of cunts. But I think this year they mostly made up for their mistakes. They realized that Sony has been on good terms with pretty much everyone for the past few years, just releasing great game after great game. This year in particular has been really good with Sony. They've released games like Persona, Nier Automata, Horizon, things like that. Whereas Xbox hasn't really had a lot to show, with like their best game of the past 12 months being like Forza Horizon 3. But it was I think it was just a really great showing. They gave a lot of people what they wanted to see, and it was just really good overall. For most people though, I think Nintendo won this time around. They didn't do so well last year, but this year they just came out of the gates at full speed. They just gave us exactly what the fans wanted. Brand new Pokemon game on the horizon, Metroid Prime 4, Super Mario Odyssey looks like it could be amazing, and yeah, they just gave everybody what they wanted, and that's really good. That's exactly what should be happening. But yeah, as I said, for me personally, Xbox One, they gave me exactly what I wanted, and that's the thing. It's all personal opinion. You decide for yourself who wins. You don't even have to decide who wins. Who wins E3? It's a very fleeting conversation. No one gives a shit, honestly. It's not important. All that's important is games are coming out this year, and they're fucking good. 2017's looking like a good year. Go fuck yourself, Sony. Devolver Digital is best developer, and where the fuck is Jack 4? Alright, so I have absolutely no idea how to end this, so, I'm never doing unscripted videos again.